morning. This is herbalist Leilah. Welcome into my garden. I think the last time I did a video about my herb garden was in April, and then I did another one in March, just to kind of show you how herbs could grow in your garden. So come on in. Okay, let's get into the garden and let's just see what grows. So here I have my little rose, and you can watch my last video in March, I believe, and see how much is grown. It's going to go all around the arch. Next to it, I have a chive, and this is just a regular chive, not the garlic chive. I love the fine, the fine texture in the regular garlic. And next to it, I have this ginkgo tree. And I don't know if you've seen my little video about the ginkgo tree that grows in Payson. It's huge. So I really look forward to see this tree as big as it is there, except I'm going to be a very old woman by then. Next to the ginkgo is the lemon balm. As you can see, it's profusely growing and I need to harvest it. So I'm going to harvest it and dry it and, just use it as a tea or sometimes in cooking. Behind it, I just planted a lovage. Lovage is a really nice culinary herb, and you can add that to your soups, your salads, or whatever you're making. Lovage is also known to make you beautiful. That's the folklore, that's what it's telling us. Next to it is my valerian, and it's in full bloom, and I'm so happy to see it. The fragrance is just out of this world. Not like the roots. As you know, the roots are quite stinky. You can use the whole plant, the roots, the flowers, and the leaves. And then behind it is the catnip. That also has just outgrown my space here, so I'm going to need to harvest that. So if you know anybody has cats and would like to have fresh catnip, just text me or leave me a message underneath this little video. And hidden away here, I've got a little plant called lady's mantle. I love lady's mantle, the way it's shaped, and also when there is dew at night, in the morning when you look at it, it's embedded in that little, almost like a little cup. The monks used to use that water and use it as holy water. I put it over there because it gets shade most of the day. It doesn't really like Arizona sun. So we'll see how it does. Here's my comfrey, and this is the Russian comfrey. So this is something you can use for external purposes, if you have sprains or strains. That too, I have to harvest. Not all of it, just a little bit. It is excellent in your compost pile. I believe it fixes nitrogen, so just read about it. I'm not an expert in that. And then behind it, you can see there's the echinacea. It's one species. I believe it's the Tennessee, but I'm not sure. I have several echinaceas here, but it's just starting to bloom beautifully. Here is more echinacea. And behind there is my cowslip. I don't know if you remember, I took some pictures in early spring. And we move along, and here's the beautiful nettle leaf. And I don't know if you could see, but it's starting to have little seeds. And the seeds can also be used in your salads, in your soups. It's highly nutritious. So you can't find anything nutritious like this in a grocery store. So get it from your garden. And here is the daylily. Daylily is not just beautiful and the fragrance is wonderful, but it can also be used in your salads. It looks really beautiful. And also people that have allergies, it's really a good idea to eat edible flowers to kind of acclimatize you to our area. As you know, eating bee pollen helps with allergies, so you have it right here. And then I have a California poppy that's still growing. California poppy will grow no matter what, as long as you give it water. And here is another comfrey, and I believe that's the officinalis. And I need to find out from Bruce Wells, who gave me this plant. Thank you. It's really doing well. And here's the Navajo tea. Navajo people drink this tea like we do Lipton tea, and it loves the desert, so it does really well here. And here is the motherwort. Motherwort is really good for like the emotional heart. It strengthens the emotional heart, or if you're heartbroken, this is a really nice herb to make a tea with. And this too I'm going to need to harvest, except I just love the little flowers and the fact that hummingbirds and bees and bumblebees love to come and get their nutrients. And here I just planted some thyme. This is a lemon thyme. I put that in the ground about 2 months ago in the spring. And here is the regular thyme. Thyme is really good for respiratory issues, and good one to have in your garden. It's very strong antibacterial. And here is za'atar, which is a form of oregano, and it's the Middle Eastern oregano. And here is the oregano, just a regular oregano. Now, don't quote me on the exact species and all that. When I go into my garden, though I know it, I just go with how I feel. I feel the plants. I don't think of plants when I'm in my garden. And here is tarragon. Tarragon really mixes very well with carrots. I make a carrot and tarragon salad. It's delicious with a little vinaigrette. And here is winter savory. Winter savory really pairs very nicely with beans, the green beans. And this is one of the favorite dishes in Switzerland. And here are the roses. They are slowly on their way out. This is a gift from my son-in-law, Paul, for Mother's Day a few years ago, and it's really doing well. And then here we have the garlic chives. As you could see, it looks a little different than the regular chives. It's kind of flat, and I like it in some dishes, and so you have some varieties in your garden. And here we're back to the arch where my rose is growing up the arch. So now I'm taking you around my garden. So look at this catnip. It's just growing profusely. I can hardly walk through this path. And here's the valerian again. And as I'm looking below here, what do we see? It's the yerba mansa. I planted the yerba mansa in my garden, inside the garden. But it's growing out. It likes it here. It's shady. It's probably always a little moist because of the rocks. So, and it looks beautiful actually. So I'm going to leave it there. Sometimes plants find their own places where they want to grow. So just evaluate that and just let them grow when they want to grow. Not always, though. And here is a beautiful, beautiful lavender, and the scent is just absolutely wonderful. Next to it is the mugwort. That's growing. I've got to harvest that too. Maybe make a smudge stick with it. You know, that's kind of like a sage. And here are my 2 sage bushes. I just did a little video about them and how to grow them. It's amazing how these plants just kind of like each other, and they're all for similar purposes. Here again is the nettle leaf. And look at those beautiful flowers. Doesn't that make you smile? And here are the daylilies. Here we can see the Navajo tea, and behind it you could see the motherwort. I like to grow my herbs fenced in, because otherwise I have my dog going in there, and you know, you just want to put a little bit of a barrier, because you do eat these plants, so don't want my dog to go in there. Remember my elm tree, my slipper elm? It's really growing nicely, and it gives so much shade. I really, really appreciate that in the hot afternoon. And now this is outside my herb garden, and here is the Mormon tea. That's growing too. If you need any Mormon tea, please let me know. I'll be glad to bring you some. And the desert willow is kind of together with the ephedra or the Mormon tea. I guess they like each other. And look at these beautiful flowers. I don't know if you can see them. I'll just try to get on a different angles. But they smelled just like jasmine. The bees love them, and every day around 5 o'clock or so, I have a little bumblebee that kind of likes to visit the different flowers here. Thank you for watching my little video. I hope I inspired you to grow your own herbs. It's really fun, and it's also very healing being in your garden. And you learn so much directly from the plants. They will teach you. Those are our teachers. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time. Ciao, Bitanan.